Hello, Rama Pupodu. Hope all are good, feeling healthy, peaceful, relaxed, and happy always. Now let's go into chapter 7, part 1. Pandharpur Shetphal 1. Dependence on God is liberation. Eventually, they reached Pandharpur, the famous shrine of the deity Vithoba. This was Ramdas' second visit to Pandharpur. They entered the city when it was quite dark. They wandered in the streets in search of a dharmashala. However, they met an old woman, a simple, pious soul. Mother, will you please point out the way to a dharmashala? Ramdas asked her. By all means, mother, she replied. Follow me, mother. I will lead you to it. Both the sadhus followed closely at her heels. She went on speaking. My mother Rukmini is so great, so merciful. She has assumed all forms. Everywhere I behold her. She is the man, bird, beast, stone, trees, stars, sun, moon. Oh, my mother has become all. How glorious she is. She is ever kind, kind. This was the vision of the old mother. She saw her divine mother manifested everywhere. They arrived at the entrance of the temple of Rukmini. Here, the old mother prostrated on the floor, facing the main door, and lay on the ground in a state of ecstasy for about 5 minutes. Then, rising up, she turned to Ramdas and said, Now, mother, come along, let us proceed. After passing through many streets and by lanes, they at last came to a dharmashala in which they settled down for the night. Ramcharan Das must have felt very hungry. He said he would go out into the city and get some food to satisfy his hunger. Soon he left and returned after about 2 hours. Early next morning, they directed their steps to the Chandrabhaga river. Here, Ramcharan Das came out with an unexpected request. Swamiji, I want you to initiate me formally into sannyas. I would have my head shaved and clothes dyed into ochre before having ablutions in the sacred river. Ramdas was taken by surprise at this strange proposition and replied, Ram, your proposal is simply astounding. Understand, sannyas is not a thing which another can impose on you or initiate into. Sannyas does not mean shaving the head and donning orange robes. It signifies a state of internal renunciation of attachment to the transitory objects of the world. Mere change of appearance and dress is hypocrisy. If in mind and heart you have not given yourself over to the Lord, if you feel a real mental recoil from the objects of sense and an experience of ecstasy in the remembrance of the Lord who dwells in you and everywhere in the world, by all means make any change you like in clothing and appearance, provided you are sure that by such change you are helped in your spiritual growth and get fixed in your faith and conviction. Do not forget that the goal is the vision of God. Now, your question is to be decided by yourself. Another cannot solve it for you. Ramdas can only lay bare his own experiences before you. He is wearing orange robes because the cloth is reminding him every time he looks at it that he has consecrated his life entirely to the Lord. He belongs to none but Him, who is infinite love and bliss. So consult the voice of God within you and act. Ramcharan Das heard in silence and did not thereafter press the point. They finished ablutions in the river and sat for a time on the sands. Swamiji, suggested Ramcharan Das, we should not leave this place for at least 4 or 5 days. The plight of our feet is simply deplorable. They are quite unfit for immediate use. In reply, Ramdas had to speak at some length on a subject on which for some time past Ram was inspiring him to enlighten Ramcharan Das. Don't misunderstand Ramdas. Take it in the first place that he is your best well-wisher. You have been exceedingly kind and good to him from time of your contact with him. You have also suffered a great deal. Ramdas had warned you that to throw your lot with him would prove a painful affair. However, it is well you shared with him the discomforts and trials of the long journey from Mangalore to Pandharpur. Experience is a great teacher. Now you want Ramdas to remain here for some days so that the sores of the feet may be healed, while the voice within him bids him start from here before this very evening, and he has to obey the voice. Ramdas is not dragging you into another cause of suffering when it is evident that you are not prepared for it. Moreover, a travel by yourself will do you much good. Independent life will grant you increased faith in God. His constant remembrance will imbue you with the consciousness of strength and security. You will thus grow perfectly fearless in your complete dependence upon Him. Give up your slavish adherence to Ramdas. Roam about by yourself. God dwells within you. Be aware of His company and fellowship always. Ramcharan Das' attachment and love for Ramdas had reached to such a degree that separation from Ramdas now meant for him not an ordinary wrench, with the result that Ramdas' advice fell flat on him. Swamiji, he remonstrated, I cannot think of a severance from you. I simply cannot leave you. His attitude was firm and unyielding. Time passed. Ramdas lapsed into a listless mood. The sun had risen high. Ram Charan Das broke the silence. Swamiji, shall we go to any one of the Annakshetras? It is nearing time. That's all, folks. Let's see in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Puppodu.